back in the gallery yet again, this time with the man, the myth, the legend, Omari Hutchinson, who I have not seen in many a year. To welcome in the gallery, good sir.
Hello, good night to one and all, Mr. Warren. Thanks for inviting me and having me on this prestigious program.
Yeah, hopefully we're building up to that. But yeah, man, you was always going to be on the list because you're a man from a long time. Use one of them fellas as always get me vexed anytime I see any work from you now. I just get annoyed. Like why these men so good?
Gosh, I appreciate that. It's an honor. I appreciate that, and I think that's how we need to observe and move with that now, take it in stride, because I just be watching you doing your things and I just be like, I can't color to save my life right now. and it's what on screen looking like it is come with the same color in print too now. So it's like you find that gap between RGB and CMYK too now.
Well, yeah, I the game a little while, so I did in the print game too. So I kinda know how to navigate a little bit and get the things that I need.
For sure, you see that.
So let me start with some history, education-wise. Secondary school, where you at?
All right. I went to I went to 2 secondary schools.
All right, because you just an overachiever, but all right, cool.
And by my life, I think anywhere I just go is the exception. Right? So
please explain.
For ridiculousness. For ridiculousness.
So, all right.
Yeah. So when my mom moved us up from Laventer, because we born and grew up in Laventer.
Right.
I think it was around 6 we came up on Arima side there, and she had me trying to get through in proper schools now. So I went 3 primary schools, 2 secondary schools, and 1 junior set. One senior comp. Yeah,
okay.
So I went to Five Rivers junior set first.
Right.
And I think it was just for Form 1 and Form 2 and 3. I went Korean junior set.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because, mother was looking for the best that she could get.
Right.
A way she could make sure and keep her eye on the tuna.
Right.
So that wasn't easy.
Wasn't? you changed your ways though?
No, but
well.
I think that's not narrative now. To know me still love me.
Right. Indeed.
So that's basically it. And then after that, went to Arima Senior Comp. At the time, I think they changed it now. It's not Arima Senior Comp anymore. Yeah, that's where I realized CXC was last boss.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah.
So, did you do art in school?
No, boy. I was supposed to, but when they had art, in the...
Horse, we supposed to be drawing on the canvas blank still.
Oh, yeah. So I was just more or less stabilizing the tool now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Right. So yeah, basically it was just they had all the art subjects. When they select any subjects, because I had sciences and I had accounting and all these things on a piece of paper to choose from. Art was on a little piece of cutout paper on the back and everything. That's why I missed it. I didn't see art at all.
Oh, so you didn't choose art because they didn't make it
a viable option visually.
Right.
I had no idea where it was, so I just chose the next best thing. I wanted to be a scientist.
Respect on art, boy. They just never do that.
There's a little cutout like an invitation.
Yeah.
Nothing a little bigger than a call card. It was stapled at the back.
Wow. So what subjects you did for O-levels?
Sciences, but sciences. Biology, chemistry, which actually add, because once you have a kind of mind
Understanding.
to look for the art in anything, everything becomes easier to learn. And that was it for me. So I started to, even though I didn't pass these subjects by the way,
Right.
it helped
Yeah, doing and
develop more
passing is two
understanding.
different things.
Yeah, you can understand how much you want, but if you don't know how to apply it,
Yeah.
especially to the rules that they set, you know, so it only came out with only 3 passes. Maths, English, and no lives, only 2 passes, right? Yeah, came out with just maths and English. Barely come out with something in maths.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm looking, help me with this program to trying to find something sketchy like what you're using here.
All right. So on the left hand side, your tools, you're looking for the brush tool.
The brush, all right.
You get through it.
Yeah, I get you.
Right, and then under my brushes, well, general, it's supposed to have a bunch of different ones, ink and soft pencil, sketchy, all of them things. That would be on the right hand side.
Right hand side. All right, yeah.
All right.
Good time. So yeah, that's why I wonder. That's it. Right. Yeah. So
how
that was.
How so outside of school where you would drawing all the time, how this artistic bug bites in your ass?
So I didn't know at the time when I started falling in love with just doing art that art and craft is something that runs deep on my father's side of the family. Right? So had it in the genes, but just didn't know how to access it now. So I had a cousin who big in the game in graphics right now in his own league.
Right.
That did a comic book. He had a comic idea action comic that he was working on called Cypher, and it more or less blew my mind because I had no idea this when Pokemon was now hitting the country, right?
Right.
So I had no idea that Trinis could make their own comics or on that level. So that blew my mind so much that I was like, I feel like I'm gonna try to do my own. And that's when I started to just keep drawing, is really chasing that dream where story writing is concerned. And that I was trying to piece that, trying to perfect storytelling with finding the right story with the skill level that I had in art.
Right.
Yeah. So I had the first comic that actually worked on that. I don't know where it is right now, but I'm supposed to have it somewhere in the room here. Was a combination of Technoman, Samurai X, and X-Men.
That is quite a that's quite a combination there, Julia.
And well, if when we meet up at time, I'll show you. I'll make sure I bring it and show you. Is really was funny and it was satisfactory to me because I actually completed it, right? But after that, it was probably just like a 8.5 by 11 pages that stitched together with staples.
Right.
That's how I did my thing, and that's how I just working from that moving forward is how I.
How long ago was that?
I was 12 around there.
So a little while ago is what you say.
Yeah, that's in the 90s. Yeah.
Right.
So it really was something that a love and hate thing because they didn't have anybody but myself to critique. No one really cared that I was interested in it.
Right.
Right. So it really just was a mental battle, and once my mind was in a good place, I'm happy with what I do. Once it was in a bad place, no problem.
So do you whatever your influences were at that time is what you kind of combined to come up with the story for your comic. So it was a full-on comic. It was drawing panels with ruler and them kind of thing.
Yeah. It wasn't anything big production. Like I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I just had a collection of comics, and I basically was just mimicking everything that, as you say, inspired.
Right.
And that was it. It was just a journey from there. And it's basically I just did what inspired, and what kind of aided in me getting better is just being empathetic and just understanding how the art is, just trying to get into the mind of the person that did whatever they did that inspired.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. All right. So that was your first dive into the thing.
Right.
After that, so did you pursue any schooling after O's?
The only thing after that was remotely connected to art was graphic design, and
Right.
that is something that really truly made the craft more respectable, because I was exposed to the habitat of being near like-minded and equally talented people. Especially they were in a gear where they didn't even know themselves like me. Right? So just being in the school atmosphere with other artists doing graphic design and understanding principles in design, and I just applied that to the illustration vibes that I had.
Right. So where did you study the graphic design?
In Costard.
Okay.
In the Port of Spain branch, underneath some talented lecturers, David Spicer and Julia, I forgot her last name, Govaya or something. So. But
And this would have been when? This would have been what, early 2000s?
In 2009, yeah, 2009.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that when I now start in SPCS. Yeah.
So it was really like being in the realm of people who like myself. It was amazing. And it really added to appreciating what I could do and experimenting a whole lot more, because I started to do digital arts like concept art and paintings and stuff.
Digitally?
Because digitally.
So they had tablets and things there for you to wet your beak with?
Yeah, they give us at the time money was running in the country, so it had enough to go around with the people who were taking the opportunity seriously.
Right.
So they had the Mac computers, the tablets and the stylus, and they had whatever they didn't know, they made try and find out whenever we question them.
Right.
Because they themselves are learning
as well.
our different styles as well.
Right.
To aid us, because that's what a true teacher does do. A teacher does
bring on the best in you.
Where to meet. So that is how I really started to develop. But at the same time, in the background, I was working on my story, telling and concept aspects, where just coming up with things that not bootleg, because that's where all my ideas were, because I was inspired by so much. I didn't really have an identity. Right,
of your own.
Yeah, so I was just buying whatever comics that I really like the art styles, like Joe Madureira.
He's the next one that's just getting mad. Why you had to be so good?
Yeah, the Warrens, Adam Warren, and stuff like that.
Adam Warren?
Adam Warren. Just being able to not stay in the realm of just being in awe, because that is something, that is our realm that they stump you to.
You're so busy, fanning over this thing and not working on yourself too.
Correct.
To get there yourself. You just, and it have you stuck.
So it was definitely a season both inside and outside the classroom.
Right.
At the same time too, I was, before Costard, I was being molded by my cousin as well, because he was giving me like just an introduction to graphics, because he wanted to vouch for me with.
There's the same
one.
His
name is Omari Hutchinson.
Okay. Not sure.
There's the same one who made the comic, the cypher comic.
Okay.
Definitely give me some of the basics as well. We had a group going as well where they were my critics. Critics, not critics. And more or less, anytime I come with strippiness, they send me back to the drawing board.
And you just need that. That real important.
And they are strictly on tough love. They had no softness there.
Yeah.
It was all of them from Labat.
Right. Right.
So they don't know yeah. Think to make you cry. At that time I come and pitch a story to them, but and it's 5 of them. And they understand.
All of them in the art thing?
No.
Okay.
But they all of them have critical thinking.
Right.
A level of critical thinking where writing one of all of them was my cousins, by the way.
Okay. All of them older as well?
Yeah. He's
Right.
the one that was my age. And the girl in the group read a lot, and she had intentions to have her own novel.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she had that critical
critical mind to
just let me know, hey, that I know.
yeah,
that I know.
so she'll be able to
connect
connect the dots until this can work, that can work, this making sense, this not making sense. Yeah.
So basically, whenever I come to the drawing board, they say, it's best you stick to drawing. Right? Stick to working. Yeah, and actually the critique, the feedback like that, it actually made me dig deeper into coming up with my own voice now, because they had incredible ideas as well, right? But it's just I always wanted my stories to have a moral backbone that not only good winning over evil, but at the same time, I wasn't a big fan of the anti-hero kind of thing now.
Right.
And they were all into that. So
you wanted more traditional good guy as opposed to edgelord kind of finish.
Yeah. So we had a teething period as well, and it was just to understand that the feedback is nothing personal. And basically they just...
Sometimes I realize, like, over time, sometimes even though the feedback is or could be helpful, there are times when the people that you're presenting stuff to, like your ideas or whatever, they don't fully understand it, because what they developing in their mind, whether it's because you didn't explain it properly, or they just take certain information and translate it differently. They're giving you the critique, but the critique not helpful because they're not understanding your vision enough to see where it making sense for what you want to do. They're trying to get you to do the pre-existing thing that they have in their mind as it relates to that certain topic. So sometimes most of the time critique is helpful, but sometimes, even though it coming from a trusted source, is not 100% helpful for what your end result should be or could be.
And that is very true, because within that space, especially with people so close that I grew up with, it was hard for me to differentiate a user hater or just...
Yeah, because and that's the thing, because especially with family or people that you're real close with, if most of the time is if they're older or if they at your level, whether it's age or experience, it have a certain level of disrespect is not the right word, but they don't give you full respect because they're so familiar with you.
Correct. So the background that I had with them is that I'm lazy, right? So they see the potential, but they're not seeing no point in the work to get it done. So that is where the critique coming in as well, and that is what I was like, we ain't getting here to meet where we are. So stick to what you're good at, get it done, and we could move from there. But I never understood or learned it like that. Right. I was just like, no, or they ain't seeing me, or they ain't understanding what I'm saying. But it was just me not being aware enough to understand, hey, it's really helping, but
they're just coming across as they're being harsh or disrespectful.
Correct. So and it was a double dose for me. It wasn't just with the illustration part, it was with the graphic design part too, because it was the same type of critique and harshness that I didn't grow up around, because remember I moved with my mom now. Right. So I wasn't in that area that they grew up in. So the language they're talking, a little harsher than the language that I accustomed the teachers talking to me in school. Understand? So all that kind of pushed me into figuring out, all right, I know you is not my teacher. You is not the person to teach me. You is not the person I feel comfortable working with. And it kind of keep pushing me into being isolating myself.
Okay.
A lot of the things, I went into a lot of periods of isolation and just doubled down on what I like and being happy.
Oh, so you kind of tuned them out, is what you're saying?
Kind of, because it felt like they rejected me because they end up moving on with the story. I wasn't the only illustrator. I remember my cousin was the illustrator as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, and to me, growing up, still trying to figure myself out and trying to do this drawing thing. I'm seeing here as both as my hero and a villain, in the sense that I need your help, but you ain't talking to me like you're helping me.
Right.
So that isolation more or less just make me appreciate everybody and just move with a mentality to eat the meat and spit out the bone. That kind of thing.
Right.
And that's how my style really is a very adaptive style that I sometimes don't even know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And it's just it's something that I'm still working on, because if I don't have a mission, it's hard for me to draw by. And I need to see sometimes, and I need to see the light at the end of the tunnel before I move, which I was telling you the other day, that kind of analysis paralysis thing.
Yeah.
I was in the dark a lot because I only listening to my voice now.
Right. I just yesterday I bounced up that brother of mine, because we train under the same Kung Fu instructor, so Kung Fu brother kind of thing.
Right.
Bounced him up on the street, and he have a business, and he was talking to him about a logo design. So the business is therapeutic massage, but he also have a fitness thing. So how he explain it is fire and water. So he pushing you with the training and thing. He building that fire in you to meet your goals and thing. But on the other side, part of training is recovery. So he offering the therapeutic massage, and that's the water part and thing. And he said, well, he had the idea for years, but self-doubt and them kind of thing, and the same analysis paralysis and them kind of thing. So and we stand up talking for a while, and I asked him the same thing I had probably asked you a while back when we had actually met up in person. So it's like, all the ideas you have in your head, do you talk to anybody about the ideas? Do you have a sounding board? Right? So even the act of, you have your ideas in your head, even the act of talking it, speaking the ideas out in the open has value, because then it becomes a little more substantial. It becomes real. So he said, well, no, he just had the ideas in his head, and he does most of the time he don't even write it down. I said, well, that's where you're falling short. You had to have some kind of sounding board. You had to talk to somebody, or at the very least, sometimes even if you're by yourself, just talk to yourself. Bring the ideas out, and if it's sounding good in your own ears, you go ahead. If it's sounding like shit, well, I had to work on this. But if you just have it inside, that's not enough. It had to come out.
Correct. I agree. But if I tell you the kind of things that I had to go through to this road of self-discovery, if I'm being real with you, I felt when I was growing up, I went mad a couple times.
Really?
It is. I could definitely describe it as mental breaks, where I had to build back the pieces after my mind break now.
But what would have been the catalyst for the break-in?
One specific catalyst is when I went up in America to see my sister graduate.
Right.
My mom was pushing to get me an extension on my visa in order to get an opportunity to be in a school abroad now. And she was working in the background on a couple of things on the promises of people who didn't follow through. So after I went and see my sister graduate, when I went up I think I went up in July, August of 2010. No, 2011, because that was when the towers get hit.
Right, yeah.
So while up there, I was in Manhattan first, and then I went to Vegas, and then I came back to Brooklyn where my grandmother was. And my grandmother, she had some issues, that kind of challenged, how to put it lightly, but she lived on her own for a while, getting away from an abusive relationship in Trinidad. So when she got away, she was scot-free from the responsibilities, even her children, because the promise was when she reached across, she would fight for them and everything. Not to make this into a long story, but she basically reached America, lived she life, and don't want too much responsibility because anytime you sound like you just want a barrel. Huh? Sorry?
I said she want the responsibility because she free.
Yeah.
She get out.
So anytime you sound like you trying to get a barrel out of she, which people have, you know, she go distance herself from you because you look like a freeloader.
Right.
But it so happened that I spent time by her because she offered to keep me, house me for the period while my mom was doing what she was doing. And she had a habit of just saying random things, hurtful things now. Like, I don't know if it was Tourette's or something, bro. But she used to really bad talk my mother about it. Oh gosh. So I was like,
old people from a certain generation, that's just the MO. They do that.
Yeah, I didn't understand it, and at the same time too, I am my teens. I don't know myself yet. It's just
yeah.
a caught between respecting my elders because my mom raised me like that, and wanting to cuss she and defend my mom because you can't be talking about my mother like that.
Right, yeah.
And we just had a lot of back and forth, and I had no option to keep quiet because
you're living in she house.
If she just had to get vexed with me a day and just say, hey,
get out.
You want me to call immigration for you? You understand?
And that's it. You forever blacklisted.
You understand? And she didn't. I'd be very thankful that she didn't, but cause she could. We was really going back and forth. She tried to throw me out the window kind of thing.
How old you were?
I was 15.
50, okay.
Yeah. So it was that, just feeling like it was hopeless that
that's some traumatic shit there though.
My mind break, and I didn't want to sound too cliche, but that is when I find God. Because I did not know, I didn't have nothing as a foundation to build back my mind.
Right.
And when that happened, because it's just like anything, you know, I know you would know this reference. When you're in martial arts or any kind of activity and you dislocate a joint, like a shoulder or something, it does never go back the way it was.
Yeah.
You know, and it would always be loose. It would always be liable to come out again. There's the same thing with my mind. That's why I have had several mental breaks, and I'm very good at it, getting back.
If you're very good at mental breaks, like that's not. We need to do something about that. But okay, coming back from the break. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the challenges now is that my mind never understood that challenges is what is life now, and I've never been challenged in after that day now, after those situations.
Right.
It took a lot to reach back there now, because there was a very traumatic thing. So everything else now, when you come back, I don't know what other people, when I came back from the States, I saw Trinidad in a whole different, it's color. What was black and white is color now.
How long you was in the States for the first time?
I think it was about 6 months.
Okay.
I stayed with my grandmother about 3 months, going through that back and forth. And what used to be hurtful too is that she is like I had cousin, one of my cousins was in a situation where I was hoping every other weekend she would say, alright, we coming to pick you up, we understand what you're going through, yeah, she ain't easy, but they going through their own shippiness too now. So when she say they're coming for me, they ain't coming for me, because they going through this shit. So it's like that disappointment, nobody coming together. My mother can help me, my sister can help me, no friends, it's just me, and I say I find God there. So as I say, when I came back now, everything is color, and art became a whole lot easier. It's just breaking down things and building it back, just like as I say in my mind. So everything is an art, and when I say I become good at building back my mind, is like that's what challenge is supposed to do. That's actually one of the
but that's the way you grow, right? You had that resistance, you had a breakdown to build back up, and you build back up stronger, and that kind of thing.
But you can't do nothing without foundation and center and balance. So that is what those principles I had. So it was always easy. Not easy, sorry. It was always foundational when I come back from those dark pieces
was there one trigger for the breaks, or it's just like different things would trigger you depending on the situation and the time and that kind of thing? Because you say you had multiple mental breaks, right?
Yeah, it's just not wanting to change. So
you not wanting to change?
Me. I'm very good at being safe.
Right.
I reach a point in my life that it's hard to catch me in any kind of trippiness. I take risk, but I'm real good at being safe.
Right.
Right. I know my weaknesses, so I stay away from them. And that where that is concerned, identifying the breaks was the question again?
If the triggers for the mental breaks, was it one trigger in particular that happened different times, or was it multiple different triggers that happened whenever they happen?
It wasn't multiple triggers. It is always in tandem with me wanting to remain with what I'm comfortable with. And that's why I say I'm good at being safe now. So when I build something, I'm not going to break it down because it's a work of art. You understand? So when I build back my mind, it encompasses what broke it the last time. You can't catch me with that again.
Right. So you kind of become immune to that. So you had to come with something else if you want to catch me.
Yeah, and when I realize it's just really my stubbornness with the reality in certain instances, not wanting to change, why we can't be friends, why you had to go away, why you had to grow up, the little things that just going through and realizing is just me not wanting to change what I'm comfortable with.
Right. What you're accustomed to and
correct. And once I started to understand that, it became easier to wield circumstances in my favor, as well as to control the pacing of things in my life now, because a lot of people just complain that I'm slow now. Right? But when I finish do what I do, they just understand. Okay, all right.
Right.
You better tell your madness now.
Yeah.
Right, and even that is something that I just have to break down and build back. It's like Lego now, or Tetris, I should say. It's a better metaphor. Because when you're building back up, it might have a hole, or you may be waiting for the line to come down.
Yeah.
In order to make that Tetris, and sometimes the line don't come. You just have to adjust, and expect that the line's gonna stack up and you might win. You just have to let go and start over.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of when I say the mental, go through a lot of mental breaks. It's just different challenges in my life that different, dealing with mourning, where my dad had died, and I had to, with the help of my family, I had to deal with that aspect of things because I was the next of kin.
Okay.
And it was just, and I had to deal with it at a different level of numbness, and I never dealt with it emotionally. And it's to find out later on that emotions do go somewhere. You can be how big a man and strong.
Yeah.
You have a capacity for emotions, and
even if you deny it, that don't make it disappear. It's still there. You suppress it, and it just festering and getting bigger and bigger. And if you don't address it, it becomes poison.
I had a situation where after my father died, I didn't deal with it, and I was normal. But I realized the well that I'm pushing every emotion down, it getting full. And I didn't understand why. And then a partner of mine pulled me into a job and vouched for me and everything. And I was like, I could take on dealing with the little challenges in this job once I had a good friend around. The man pulled me in and leave within a month. And that is what triggered another mental break. Was like, my father gonna leave me again, boy.
So
I was like, where that come from?
The abandonment, yeah.
So as a creative and having that experience, as I say again, building back and understanding my weaknesses, is to have that internal dialogue to know, hey, this is not normal.
Yeah.
Seek help.
Yeah.
And so talking to yourself is good. To have that internal dialogue, to know yourself, but also
gotta talk to somebody.
A healthy person that understanding and patient with it to talk about things is very, very helpful and not appreciated because you don't need always need to be a specialist.
Yeah.
It could really be somebody who check for you. You don't need to be somebody who
sometimes you just need to vent.
Correct.
Sometimes you just need to vent and you don't need a specialist for that. You just need somebody that's patient and willing.
Correct is right. So yeah, it wasn't always the same thing. It's different things. And what almost always happens is for that mental break to be triggered, I have to have no option.
Right.
Is when and what I'm describing also is something that is dangerous. I understand it's dangerous because it deals with the things that come with suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had suicidal thoughts as well. That's why I have to bring back myself from that. Because when you isolate yourself, you become your own best friend. And dark habits and the things that are unhealthy stay with you so long that it become your comfort.
Yeah, and you get accustomed to it, and you should never be accustomed to that kind of
you develop your own language that nobody understands, and then they say, well, nobody understands me. But no, it's just you're by yourself so long, you develop a subconscious language for yourself.
Yeah.
And when no one understands you descend now darker and darker, and it's be like, nobody really hear me, why I here?
Yeah.
And it is a cycle. So it's really, once you know yourself, you would know what voices in your head is yours and what is not yours.
Right.
And
but also, that's why you need to talk to people so you have a different kind of voice that can pull you out.
And you have to be in tune with what you like. If you have passions and you know you like something, all those things is the things that you could hold on to climb out of whatever hole you're in. And because everybody mind set up and customized for their sanity. Mm-hmm. Right? And what works for me may not work for you. And what works for me might seem like craziness to you.
Yeah.
But everybody is entitled to have their customized likes, dislikes, things that builds your identity, that ties into your ego. So when you somebody telling you can't draw, you will never make it, your voice had to be stronger than any external force.
Yeah.
So sorry. So I just go into that whole deep psychological, but that is what I was.
Now, well, I mean, this is your journey, right? And this is what we're talking about. So all of that is it. So in coming back, so you say after everything was in black and white, and after you break and you rebuild, at least the first time, you come back home and it's like you're seeing color for the first time, and you dive more into the art thing. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, it was really that Trinidad, I didn't know what I was searching for until I realized everybody else's culture is not satisfying me, right? I'm trying to draw Kenshi in Japanese.
Okay.
I'm trying to do X-Men in this Western style, kind of, this East, I forget, it's the East. The East or the West? What do they call it? The West.
West, yeah.
Yeah, trying to draw like Joe Madureira and all of them, and it's like, I don't always have to do my version of the X-Men. I don't always have to do my version of Kenshi. Why? We had to have something down here. And I tried the folklore thing too, and then I realized, nah, boy, deeper than that too. I should be able to make a story from anybody, any walk of life, and that's basically how I started dig deeper into the culture, because my mom does be in carnival in Georgia and stuff now, so she was listening to all them radio stations that talking about mass, them TV stations that talking about carnival.
Yeah.
So it's all that exposure more or less was stockpiling in the background in my subconscious.
Right.
Until it was ready to be drawn upon and just build a lot of the stories that I have that we will discuss just now.
Yeah, so like I say, and I guess it's something I've been saying with every guest so far, but also I suppose that's why I invite Ole to come for me to mark all the business and for you to lime and draw, right? Been in awe of your talent and your style, your art style. So what what intrigued me about your stuff is like you're able to get people's likeness, and not like full on caricature to the point where they're looking comically weird but still making out who it is. But the economy of your lines, so like it's almost like the fewest lines possible to get the strongest likeness you could get. It's like, how the fuck this man getting this shit, right? So that's amazing to me.
Because me describing, right?
Of course, I was going through your Instagram just now. I was like, this fucking man, boy. So you basically been self-taught as far as the illustration is concerned, or
Yeah.
so just from looking at comics, manga, anime, and you just drawing stuff and getting more comfortable with your craft and just doing things.
I think for me, which just puts a lot of people off, is again me being slow. To some people, is me having to digest things. So I digest a lot through meditation. And it's not the normal way of meditation where you sit down by yourself. No, I look at things and contemplate a lot before I take action.
Okay.
And with that is I listen to what is being said and what is not being said, because it's something that I'm able to wield and translate into how I do private jobs for people as well, because a lot of people, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm undermining anybody going through the hard work, studying and drawing and going to the schools and wherever.
No, everybody journey different.
Yeah, but for me is I honestly don't question how others do these things, but I don't know how others do it. But I know once I listen and I understand something, because that's what I'm aiming to do. If somebody talking to me wants to understand, this is what you want from me.
Right.
Or even though I don't know what I'm sketching right now, I just sketching and I liking what coming out, okay?
Right.
And it's just to go with the flow. And
wherever the vibes carry you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's always a lot of mental quietness and allowing ideas to bounce around and roam free in my mind and not try to control everything.
Yeah.
That this helped me be able to wield what my mind trying to broadcast. And if you happen to like it, cool. And when you like it, I look in to see what you see now, because I not see what you see.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what has always been a state of awe, always in a state of awe.
Okay. So talk to me about, because I can't remember how we would have met or first started interacting.
It's so true.
I can't remember. It's been a while. I
could only think of Weeders Draw, right?
Right. Which I did not attend much, eh?
Correct. But you see, and I'm sure you would have heard this before too, you and James, among some other people, that all inspired me without me knowing that I was being inspired by you all.
Okay.
This guy, I forget what's his name, who did Ninja Rasta, man?
Dave Cooper
Cooper, right.
And Jason Jarvis. So Dave wrote Ninja Rasta Man and Jason illustrated Ninja Rasta Man.
See, I didn't even know that. I thought it was Cooper who.
Nah, he started it. But it was when it was in Vox, it was Jason. Jason was doing the illustrations. And so the names they call Dave, James, me, three Trinity boys, and Jason, illustrator for Ninja Rasta Man, Trinity boy again.
Right. So I would have seen stuff that you all did and didn't know you all were attached to that.
This would have been Vox?
And what would have always been interesting is that I would have always been in circles of people who knew you all.
Right.
So I heard about you more than I knew about you.
Okay.
When I see it, when people say, "Well, yeah, there's Warren," I say, "Oh, this is Warren."
This bitch.
So yeah. And that's how I don't remember the first conversation we would have had, but I remember some. I think we met when the museum was still open in Portersville. We would have had a couple conversations there when all of us met up. I think, I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think this guy had some art pieces there. Who just do, gosh, but I can't remember his name too. But he just do a lot of vintage pieces as well. With Obia and
who's that boy?
Old man, but is it Leroy Clark?
Leroy Clark, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, his pieces and things were in there as well. But anyway, primarily would have been with his draw, and then we would have met in the savannah, around the savannah. This would have been with the Silvers and Israel and his clan and James and Sparkle, and everybody was there.
Right. So yeah, because James was moving in some circles that I wasn't moving in, but by association, quite a few of the people I would have interacted with when I decided to chuck my head in all your business.
Right. So yeah, that's more or less what I would have remembered, and listening to the conversations you would have been having with the people who you knew, because you didn't know me, and I just eavesdropping on
right.
When all you're having those conversations, and I was like, well, I want to be a part of it too, but I have nothing to add. It's just to watch and say, well, I joke, just laugh, but I never understood what the joke was about, but just laugh.
Oh gosh.
It's you, Nabil, of course, James, Renier and McKesey, just being around those different variations, I was absorbing all and just I didn't know it myself as well. I like Trinidad so much that are always more conscious now, but more subconscious then. Really like character design. So each one of you all have a different category or template that you all fall into, with body types, with personalities, with accents, because everybody comes from a different subculture in the country.
Right.
People in South don't talk like people from Lavanta. People in Arima don't talk like people from Tobago. And it keeps multiplying because we are a really fast society. It's not just the short attention span. We live very short death and rebirth versions of society, where something fashionable and trending and then it's gone. So yeah, it's just seeing the different characters. This guy too, I forget. He has so much different names, but all I just remember is the Devil Getter, George Francis. Always getting kicked off on Facebook.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. 10 different. So I was just absorbing everybody. Even the ladies. Can't remember the names, but it had a lot of them that passed through. I think Portia. It has it's just too much to mention, and it was always uplifting to know, because I didn't know people like all existed before Reader's Draw. Yeah,
Reader's Draw was a movement for a period of time. It really was.
So that's basically where I remember you from. I don't remember meeting you anyway in the social atmosphere besides Reader's Draw.
Yeah. So talk to me about Ninja Maiden.
Ninja Maiden. No problem. Before that, let me tell you the joke before we go any further.
Okay.
I have the same guy who vouched for me to get through with the job. He was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen just yesterday.
Okay.
And he was talking about the color arc and everything. You know about the Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
I know of it. I started reading the manga and stopped very early on, so I probably wouldn't get any of the references.
No problem. That's good. That's okay. Basically, I still have a very similar idea to Jujutsu Kaisen that I actually have on Facebook, that if anybody needs receipts, they could go on right now and see that I had the character design since 2010.
So before it come out, you was done doing it already.
Right. So my idea basically was a coconut vendor that is really a nobody, just doing anything, doing what he loves, living his simple life. And he get dragged into this whole obia and dark magic and all these different things without him understanding why that's happening to me, right? And it's all because he is in a relationship with his fiancée, who is a part of a special secret tribe that guarding curse items, right? And it so happened in the first episode he dies, and I ain't gonna go through the whole drama, but he dies, and one of the curse items that his fiancée has, which is around her neck, is really a prison for very talented, dark, powerful sorcerer, right? And the only way they can trap him is to use his blood, right? His own blood as a prison.
Interesting,
right?
Okay.
So when he got into an accident on his way home, this is the coconut vendor.
Yeah.
He got into an accident, and his fiancée, in order to hide the curse item from whoever was pursuing them, because the accident that he got into was orchestrated.
Right.
She put it into his body, and the more he struggled, well, when he got up in the hospital, his fiancée missing, stepson in a coma, and he trying to figure out life, and all what he going through, he realizing the voices in his head getting louder. He stronger, he blood type different. All this is really the seal loosening, the seal of the prison loosening in his body.
Right.
Due to his lack of confidence and his lack of his weak willpower or whatever. Anyway,
that is literally almost word for word by Jujutsu Kaisen though.
Exactly, just a Caribbean spin, and it's a lot deeper, but I don't go into too much. Is when the fella in work was saying, hey boy, so I ain't hearing nothing boy, you talking, we talking about Jujutsu Kaisen and I ain't hearing you at all, boy. What do you think about it, boy? I was like trying to hush me, boy.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Literally.
I basically break it down for him and tell him, yeah, guys, I don't have to scrap it because it's done out there. And well, I ended up going through ChatGPT just today, and ChatGPT, even though I know it's gas in my, it is very encouraging to let me know where the lines of copywriting or likeness.
Okay.
And where I could still proceed with the story.
Yeah.
The reason I stopped doing the story is because it going the same direction Jujutsu Kaisen going, where you really can't just be distinct. It really have no line between good and evil. Really. Is who survived.
Right. Okay.
It really is who survived and how long the survival going to, how long peace going and stay for until the next bacchanal. As opposed to the way that I learned from the storytellers down here, or the type of story styles that we have down here, is that it has to have some kind of moral to the story. Violence just can't be senseless. It must have some kind of meaning. Even if it has a stalemate, or even if evil may be seeming to win, it must have some level of hope, some level of foundation that the people who is the gatekeepers leave an example for the other generation, and that is where hope's supposed to be in what comes next.
Right.
So that's how I find my story was going a bit too dark, and I needed to learn a little bit more light before I resume the story.
Right. Okay. I can understand that.
Because to me, I think I do with all my stories, and this is a part of the analysis paralysis too, is that I think I have an example to set for not only the people who like my style and like what I'm doing, but for the people who just want to enjoy the content that I'm doing. And being a story writer is something that I'm chasing, but I perfect it to know my voice, to know, all right, what is good, or what is what I want from what I don't want.
Okay.
That's a very priceless and important thing to me. So that's the moral code that I just move with all my stories.
So Ninja Maiden was that story, was the Jujutsu Kaisen before Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, Ninja Maiden ended up being the third story that it was really supposed to be a story that was supposed to be short to help me get into writing the real story that I wanted to write, which was the Coconut Vendor story.
Right.
And I just ended up falling in love with it. And Ninja Maiden was really a joke that I had with me and one of the same cousins, one out of the five. And we was talking about getting married one day, and we was like, I fed up I having to fight for the hand of a fair maiden and all this that no, she should have a fight for me. I surprised we were saying that long before this become a conversation, right? I was like, I surprised she had a fight for me. I doing everything for my father-in-law to gain to get his passing, his blessing, to get his daughter. No, so I was like, yeah, and cousin was just like, yeah, that makes real sense. And we were just talking about setting up all these challenges that whoever my wife was supposed to be at the time would have to go through to meet me in the Bamboo Cathedral, right? And I waited there with the pastor or whoever, the priest is, whoever. And if you make it through those challenges, then you is my wife. You're supposed to be my wife.
You're worthy to be married to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And the challenges wasn't easy. And just when I was thinking of what this woman would have to go through, I was like, yeah, Ninja Maiden. She's a Ninja Maiden. She's a Ninja Maiden, is Ninja Maiden, which is a play on the game itself as well.
Right.
It was a play level game. It wasn't just cartoon, it was real game. That's a play that built on my imagination.
Yeah, of course. So was it finished? Was a finished project?
No,
or it was just...
That was it in its simplest form. If I could go back to that mindset of production, I would have had a lot more under my belt right now, but
so what was the end result of the idea? Ninja Maiden ended up being what? Just ideas and illustrations and sketches?
Yeah, it was that. I ended up doing 2 issues that on Facebook as well, on the in-scheme page. Did it, and the more I worked on it, it was looking like Naruto, and it was a bootleg Naruto. And that is one of the times that it really made me question, what is my voice? Am I just going to do cameos and bootleg people thing?
Right.
And that was the last straw. Ninja Maiden was the last straw. And somebody ended up recommending me to a guy that had a free course on Facebook, teaching young comic artists to build on their own idea. And he had a regimen that basically make me question and scrap everything that Ninja Maiden was supposed to be. Because I had real funny bootleg aspects to it. It was Trini. It was like a Trini version of what's out there. And I was in love with it. And then I was just like, I had a breakdown. No matter how I wanted to keep these epic ideas. And then a lot of things happened too, where I had everything stored on a BlackBerry. And the BlackBerry crashed.
BlackBerry?
Yeah, I had like 200 and something random ideas that just happened on my way home most times.
Right.
And I lost all that. And it just worked. I ended up meeting Rennie one of those days, and Rennie told me about Rennie Holder.
Yeah.
And he told me about Evernote. And that's when I really started to blossom with writing on all my ideas in a more structured way. And Ninja Maiden ended up changing from that Naruto bootleg thing to something that is amazing to me, is something that I'm building on to tell a story about the 4 different aspects of society that I know of. The one is civilians, the other one is criminals, the 3rd one is the law, and the 4th one is leaders. And the story really now is not a person waiting to get married. My altar is now these 4 different individuals from 4 different walks of life in society have different ideas of what they think Trinidad and Tobago should be, and they all have an opportunity with different types of power that could change the way how Trinidad is. From those 4 different perspectives. Being a civilian, being a criminal, being a police, and being a politician.
Well, some might argue that politician and criminal is the same thing, but okay.
Correct. And that is where it calls me out to dig deeper into understanding these roles in order to articulate it in a way that is not just entertainment, is a story that people can learn from.
So it's talking about actual society.
Correct. So it's really, no, it's more like a post-apocalyptic slash apocalyptic kind of vibes, where these 4 different individuals in a realm that is far-fetched. It's not going to happen in Trinidad, right? Where
okay, so you're creating a world
yeah,
that would have certain aspects of Trinidad, but is not Trinidad actual.
No, it's Trinidad. It's Trinidad. It's just my version of it.
Right. Okay.
Because it's something that anybody should be able to fit into, laugh at, and be offended by. Right? Because it's supposed to trigger some level of discomfort, because it's supposed to bring it to a point where it's supposed to make you question your role in society.
So to have you looking at yourself.
Correct.
Okay.
So the surveillance aspect is about this young boy, a teenager, now turned 12, and he basically just grew up on video games, grew up on anime, grew up on movies,
right?
All these things, and he has no context with regards to the realities in life, because anytime, now these are different versions of myself as well, right? So what he would have gone through, he so much in this TV world, which a lot of people could relate to, is his escape from the harsh things, because he's being bullied at school, and all these different things. So he had this kind of Don Quixote kind of aspect to him,
right?
Where he had dreams of grandeur, of becoming this hero, right? And he and his friend get bullied into this, to a point where they just decided we need to do something, and we need to do it quick. And they decided to join a gang. Right? And the opportunity that they get to join the gang is it was the star of the show. His name is Toes, Traveling John. He basically doesn't want to deal with any gang because his mother tell him to stay away from them fellas and whatever. So he reluctant. But the other guy, more desperate than he is, because one of the bullies actually interfered with him sexually. Right?
Molest.
And that's his secret. That's the reality. There's a lot of hard-hitting things in it.
Yeah.
So he, while the star of the show, traveling, looking at life, like, yeah, justice, goodness for all, this, that, them fellas and them can't do it. Evil will never exist that long. Good will travel. His friend looking at it in a reality.
That more real, yeah.
Yeah, you only talking that talk, but it so happened that traveling helped one of the gangsters' grandmother, one of the head gangsters, and the gangster gave him an opportunity to say, if you need anything from me, just let me know. And when traveling best friend find out that traveling best friend trying to coax him into making a meeting happen now, because we need to join a gang now.
Right.
And that is basically how their story began.
So what's the name of this project?
The name of the project now is Land of the Lawless, right?
And this is the building on what Ninja Maiden would have started.
Yeah, correct.
You push it more to have more of a local, the story more based in Trinidad and Tobago law, and dealing with real issues, dealing with social commentary. I'm assuming there will be supernatural things, or it's not that kind of stuff.
Well, there's the other part now. I couldn't let go of a lot of the personally great ideas that I had
right.
That would not have worked in this version of Ninja Maiden, which is the Land of the Lawless. So I had to augment the reality in order for these ideas to transcend from Ninja Maiden into this, right? And with that, what the story is now is basically a real Trinbago love story, fictitious love story. That was one of the taglines that I had for it, and that's all I got on my thoughts. Yeah, so basically I have different phenomenons that are happening in the story to bring about the ridiculousness in it.
Right.
So in order to do that, I had to exaggerate things that we like now. So one of the major plot points is this well-known family, huge family, that build their family name on the doubles that it is made the original sauce, right? They have a long line of doubles makers now. And what happened is one of the doubles men, or one of the family of the doubles men, when he was starting out, he was in an area that it had a lot of gangs and whatever, and the gangs and called him out for the little free code, the little block to come and sell doubles, and he was promised that he would get paid, and he didn't get paid multiple times. And then he needed the money to deal with his daughter up in the States in order to get she through school.
Right.
And he didn't know his daughter was going through some challenges, and his daughter killed herself. And he attributed that to he not getting any money to send for his daughter.
Right.
So the block code that they promised to pay him for ended up being the last block code on that block, because he decided to arrest a little something extra in the doubles.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And all the gang leaders was there, and all the people who owed him was there. So he just vexed, he don't care. And when he put the poison in the recipe, some of them died, some of them triggered a latent ability, which all of us have, where talent is involved.
Okay.
So the greatest way I could express this is like Usain Bolt, fastest man alive, right? It's not just genes, it's talent. It's not just biology. It's training. Yeah. All these things that unlock what he is today. So all those things that are normally embedded in human beings, that is triggered in any one of us. In the world that I have with Ninja Maiden, it's triggered in Land of the Lawless. It is triggered when you're near the extreme physical or mental duress. Yeah. And you're unlocking these dormant traits that would have skipped generations. Like we say, Usain Bolt father and grandfather just taught the genes for Usain Bolt to have it. But what I'm saying is Usain Bolt grandfather and father, if they were to be in extreme cases of duress, they would unlock that same gene that Usain Bolt have. Yeah. Right. So that is how the story more or less unlocking the supernatural or the superpower aspect. So everybody only some people survived that poisoning attack, right? Right. The other instance is this similar doubles making well-known family had a new version of doubles that they wanted to launch, and they had real promotion behind it because it had doubles restaurants now. It had doubles that on the go, that preserve, that you can open a freezer and pull it out and heat it up and it tastes just like it on the street. I kind of want to live in this world though. Yeah, understand? It's a thing that they make called a gyro roti. As a roti wrap like a gyro. Right. You understand? It's a trend that you would like. You understand? I call it Trinbago. Right? So they have this new product, they mass produce it, and they was going to launch it for Carnival. They launched the Carnival Monday, the Carnival Tuesday and Wednesday, the whole country shut down because everybody get around that, right? Because of the product. They didn't know what it was, but it was extreme diarrhea. Right. Some people died, and others, again, transcended. Right? Yeah, that's experience. So, so everybody, and the majority of people there have unlocked their latent abilities. And it's not only because of that, it has other instances, one-offs, where people unlock their talents and their hidden skills and whatever. Yeah. Right? So there's the radioactive doubles plot story. It almost destroyed the family and the profits that they was making because they had to get rid of the product. So they get rid of it and put it in the mass, not knowing, because when people started to trigger their superpowers and whatever, it was months after, right? And nobody knows that it attributed to the doubles carnival event. They're just thinking it's just what really going on with these trainees here, but people just gain superpowers out of nowhere, right? And it's not superpowers like shooting lasers out your eyes. It's just totally mental and physical superhuman ability. Right? Is nothing out of the way. But nothing like pull your pen in a while. Eh? Oh yeah, I can't multitask, man. That's another one. That's another kryptonite I have. I can't walk and talk at the same time. Right? Understood. That's why I tell you I'm good at being safe. When I understand my weaknesses, I just make my decisions upon that. Right? So no one has been able to real transcend here, by the way. So no one was really tying it back, even though they're doing the research and things. Nobody tying it back to is really the doubles event that triggering these powers and things to offload and destabilize society. Right. So there's that. And when they get rid of all the doubles and stuff, in the labas, basically all the cobos, the rats, cockroaches, mosquitoes, flies, anything that you can think of that you want nothing to do with, that in the labas, get exposed to that. And more or less, well, I don't know, I ain't gonna tell you that story, but I have what I want to launch first, dealing with some short stories, series called Long Story Short.
Right.
That dealing with a lot of the originating cases of the people who gain superpowers, to give context for the Ninja Maiden.
Right, so it's just
story.
It's more world building.
Correct.
So that kind of companion to the main story.
Yeah, an anthology that I want to do.
Right.
It's just going to be about 68 stories, 12 pages. And I'm thinking about just making it like one of them motion TikTok videos.
Okay.
Where just narrating, one voice narrating. I don't need no sound effects right now. And basically just use that to generate momentum now. For free, because people gonna like the freeness of that.
Of course.
In the background, I'm gonna work on the books, the printed editions and stuff that gonna carry the story. After generating interest, that is going to generate the income.
I like how that's sounding.
So that is one aspect with the doubles. The other aspect is that Trinidadians seeing the superpowered people just running amok and destabilizing society, because it had an attack during Independence Day, where 2/3 of the country's forces was in the parade doing their thing, and they were attacked by organized gangs, because the gangs down here not organized yet.
Right.
Because if they really decide to get organized,
problems.
Right? So they attack the state, and that, along with the economy and the superpowered individuals and all kind of shiftiness, more or less set Trinidad back, where Citygate and the capital is actually bordered off, right? Citygate is an actual gate, right? And that gate running like the Great Wall of China, it running all around the capital, cordoning off all the high-profile areas.
So kind of like what they wanted to do when Obama was coming down, where they built the wall by the That is actually what kind of triggered and inspired a lot of these ideas. There's also a big wall now that the government trying to hide around the labas and certain landfills where they dispose of the doubles, because it's actually the creatures and stuff developing sentience, and the hunters becoming hunted, right? Like we say, the wild meat going on wild. You're right.
Right? And it's just different. It's a whole different world that I'm real proud of that I built. And
it's very detailed.
Yeah. And it's in a language now that I could actually share with people, as opposed to it being in my head, because getting it out of my head was a task.
Right.
Because it's only the things that I like, and it's my museum in my head, but I really have to open the museum to people to
exactly.
So that is that plot. It had the robots, that's the Babylon units that the government invested in to help combat against the superpowered individuals. And the Babylon units basically could watch you and see how much passes you had in CXC, see where's your mother name, everything. They're real good.
Alright, so I want to sell out the entire thing.
It don't matter. I know nobody can copyright the extent, so it don't matter. I just
but even so, I want people to, when they experience it, it comes like the first time as well. So, what form the finished story going to take?
The finished stories, it will be on different mediums. So the printed version is going to be the premium.
Right. So when you say printed, is it a full-on paneled comic book? Is it going to be like a novel with illustrations? What is it going to be?
So the objective is really to keep on the track that I need help, right? I'm not going to try to undertake this project that I love on my own. So once I put out a template with the stories that I'm comfortable with, I'm definitely going to invest in people who can help me maintain that template. And I'm really hoping.
What do you mean maintain the template?
So when I do what I do for with this anthology. Let me put it like, when I finish with the anthology, the 12-page story, the 68 12-page stories, that is going to show, this is how I want the production to look.
Right.
For any artists that are bringing on board, and I want them to match as best as they could, if they could, right? Because what is more important to me is getting the story out as opposed to making it super perfect, right?
Okay.
So if I could provide an opportunity for a young artist who's good at finishing a comic book as opposed to finishing it perfect, and are comfortable with the style, handling he or she, hiring them and paying them to do that, because the story would be in a digestible manner where they just form and produce. And at the same time, they're getting the exposure, they're getting paid, they're getting.
So you're taking on like a kind of Mike Mignola kind of setup where Hellboy is his creation, and for a while he was the only one writing and illustrating the Hellboy comics. Then he started to bring people in, and then he expanded the universe with the BPRD, and with the BPRD is him and somebody else writing, and there were many different artists drawing the different runs of BPRD. So sometimes they would focus on Ape Sapien, and there was this particular artist. So that's where you're looking at. You would be the spearhead for this universe that you've created, the anthology to introduce everybody to what's going on. You would spearhead that, and then all of the tributaries in terms of the branching of stories and continuing telling that tale, you would rest that responsibility on whichever talented artist you link with, and you would still oversee. So when they do their pencils or the initial thumbnails for the pages and things, you would check and see, well, all right, I like this, I like that, maybe change this angle, whatever. And then
I just did for quality control,
Okay. That's a very interesting thing, because you talk about earlier on, because we clock in nearly 2 hours now. Earlier, or actually no, it's that. Almost 2 hours. You spoke about your triggers being mostly when you're forced to deviate from your safe spaces or your normal. So what you're accustomed to, when you're forced one way or the other to go against that and do shit you're not accustomed to, is a mental trigger. So I find it interesting that with this world that you create, right? Or still creating, still adjusting, it morphing and growing and changing and becoming even more interesting. That, how long now you're working on this thing, roughly?
Since 2009, 2008.
So, so nearly 20 years.
Nearly years.
Nearly 20 years. Will you say if it's
2008? There's me calculating. There's Ninja Maiden as well. There's me. For me, but if I had to be honest, with the revamp of the story, it would have been around 2015. Okay. 2015.
So 10 years.
Roughly.
And this is something that you've put a lot of time, effort, and thought into, right? So you're telling me now the plan that you have, and part of that plan is to give up some of that responsibility, or put the responsibility of bringing the idea to life on the page. You are giving that responsibility to someone else. I find it very interesting that you're giving up a certain amount of control, because even though you overseeing, right, and you quality controlling, you can't control what they do and how they might choose to represent certain things. Even if you give them like a tight script to work with, right, they still had to interpret it and bring that through in their style. So I find it interesting that you're even up front willing to relinquish some of that control.
Because what age should bring wisdom, right?
Should.
It should. It should. There's some people running
Not
away
always,
from the system, but
not always the case.
you understand? And for me, I am I always think in the realm of existence. I'm not going to be around for very long, and what I mean very long is we don't last long as humans, right? You could want
in relation to other things,
and then even though we don't last long, or in spite of not lasting long, I think that is where we should focus on the value that we can provide while we're here. And is something that as I have a family now, an offspring, and living a life that my choices not only affecting me, it's affecting the people who I care about around. So with that being said, I need to do more. I'm not going to stop working on what I'm working on. I definitely would put not just quality control, but I will definitely have time to work on what I want to work on instead of having to go through this process first to get to the next process. Meaning to say, I wouldn't mind relinquishing the short stories onto somebody else, and the short stories progressing while I'm working on the main stories. That kind of way.
Okay.
So it really is one, to get it out there, two, to create something that brings a return not just for me, but actually stimulating the economy as best as I could. Creating employment, not only creating employment, but giving artists a place. Because, I mean, how long, there's a discussion I had with Maxwell, I forget his last name, oh gosh, Max, and a couple other people with regards to Trinis definitely have a shorter lifespan with their attention span. How to put this way? Trinis understand that they don't have much time to waste sometimes. And because of that, a level of selfishness comes up with understanding that you're working on somebody else's dream. Right? So when whoever I hire, or whoever interested that could meet the requirements, I am not going to limit them to just do working on my dream. I definitely want to give them an opportunity to have a house where they could launch their own things. Because it is really to create an infrastructure, and if I fail at doing it, at least somebody could pick up the baton and run with it, because we reaching a place like Camille Selvon doing it. And I'm sure she naysayers who never believe in she, and she the whole he's a woman and he will never make it and all kind of thing. And look, she created a space in animation as best as she could that continue on it, and it is something that is a staple now. I just want to create something for the people who is dreaming static as opposed to motion. Not everybody go want to do animation. Some people just like doing still, painting still, and the level of employment that I'm thinking, that I'm hoping to create is like people do their own thing authentically, traditionally, and you could see it like a museum. Like I would like you to do a cover, because it's not just the inside of the book. I want people to do covers as well. I want people to do concept art. I want to be able to put whoever do whatever and sell those pieces, or create a channel that could direct them back to, hey, this artist is who, whatever. And that's basically
building that community.
Yeah, because that's what we just draw kind of inspire in me. And so much different times, the heads or the masses or the powers that be try their best to revamp it, to build it, to structure it, and everybody had different things going on. Everybody can't commit to it. Not everybody seeing the vision.
That's really thing.
Some people just need to see somebody do it first, and then you have, not only when you do that and you build something, you have to be able to, one, understand and be cool with it being stolen, or some kind of template being built off it and scale up, because that is the culture that we live in. Look how B-Mobile and Digicel eat up all the people who have the small business selling cell phone on the side of the road. And they just rest the brand on it. Look how Massey do the same metric, they take the same metric, and Massey Insurance, Massey Distribution, Massey this, Massey that.
Well, I mean, if we bring it back full circle to earlier when you talk about your mother being involved in carnival and judging and thing.
Yeah.
Tribe buy out a set of bands. Tribe is a conglomerate, so they have a bunch of large and medium bands that they're under different names, but it's really Tribe that controlling a bunch of them. So,
and that's what I'm saying with regards to that's the template. Even I see it all over the place. Even fitness. I have been in a position, and this is what I say. We live very short lifespans. That is not only in attention to, is not only in regards to attention, but in regards to the speed we produce, and what we produce is like today and discarded tomorrow. We digest content really fast. We digest phases in society really fast.
I don't think that's a Trini thing. I think that's just how the world is now.
No, true. I agree with you. But what I'm saying with regards to how I look at it from a specifically Trinidad and Tobago point of view is when you look at another point I would make, like the Italian Patrice Roberts, Marshall, and I think somebody else produced a whole album for Carnival to me. They had like 11 songs, close to 11 songs running on the radio at one point in time. That is the equivalent of a mixtape by American standards. To do that for a season, because out of them 11 songs that Patrice had sing that year is only about 5 hit.
Yeah.
And it competing with so many other artists. So you put in on quality work, but the quality is being valued. But when you really look at it, is the speed and the quality that being put out is like a phase. The internet phase. The internet changed Trinidad drastically.
Well, the internet changed the world, but I would give you a pushback on that point.
Which one?
With the using music as the example, specifically soca music, because soca artists here work different to how other artists interact with and produce music globally, specifically like the States and Europe, right? So soca music here is seasonal, right?
Agreed.
So right after Christmas, soca, and they call it the soca switch, right? Soca switch up until Ash Wednesday, 12 a.m. Exactly as the clock strikes 12, you're going back to the dance hall and rap and everything else, right? So it's seasonal specifically. And people in the States and other artists, they would produce their album and then go on tour to promote their album.
Right. No,
it is work backwards here.
No, I ain't talking about the process, really. I'm talking about how much how to put it, like dog years. Like a dog will age faster than humans. Right. So I was saying that the way how the speed Trinidad lives at, the habitat is a lot faster. Like we age differently now, mentally, and how we are stimulated by.
Again, I don't know if I fully agree, but two, like I said, I think it's a global thing because of where the world is now with the internet and with social media and how easy it is to access content via your phone and how widespread the internet is and that kind of thing, that the world is moving faster. So it's not a Trini thing, it's a global thing.
Yes, I agree. It's happening all over the world. I'm not saying that it's not happening in those places. I'm saying with regards to understanding how to deliver a message, how the seasons that I've observed, the speed, the attention span, and and there's a lot of other elements that could touch on with regards to how I'm going about and why I'm going about doing what I'm doing is we as a society are young as well. We are young.
Yeah.
That's why,
compared to others, yeah.
Correct. That's why the Asians could come here, the Syrians could come here, the Venezuelans could come here, anybody else could come here and take the time and build themselves. Look, is Hassan his name? I can't remember. Yosef, on
Gyros.
the avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Gyros. I remember them come and didn't have much and they build. They're patient, they build themselves just like the merchants and them from in the past. Just like the Chinese and the Chinese restaurants. They build and they are patient. I'm talking about the citizenry here, the maelstrom and the melting pot, all the different things that, because no one can yet tell me what a trini is. Because a trini, you can't tell me what a trini is. A trini cannot be described because a mixture of different, all kind of different things.
That's the description?
That's the description. So I feel out.
Yeah.
To me, that is like trying to describe water, just like how Bruce Lee described it. You pour it in water, you pour it in a mug, it becomes the mug. You pour it in a cup, it becomes the cup. To me, because of that amorphousness, that's a word? Yeah. Because of the amorphous nature of our society and the people in it, or the people who identify, we use it as a metric to identify Trinidad with, it doesn't really have an identity. It's just water. It's really just water. And because of that,
Again, I disagree wholeheartedly with that statement. I don't think that Trinbago, Trininess is water, and we as a people would take on the shape of whatever vessel we are put in. I would say that part of being Trini is being able to adapt. So you could put us anywhere and we will find a way to fit in. But that does not necessarily mean we will take the exact shape of where we are put in, right? But also, I would describe us as spice or seasoning, different types.
Right.
So when you meet a Trini,
an entire meal.
Well, when you meet a Trini outside, you know it's a Trini, right? Either from the way they talk, the way they move, but there's a vibe, an essence that you would pick up on one Trini to the next. Regardless, right? Some people is fight it, and some people try to be water and fit in wholly and solely because they either don't have a strong sense of self, or for whatever reason, either internal or external, feel that being Trinbagonian makes them less than, and in order to be accepted, they have to assimilate totally with wherever they are. And that, a lot of that is due to, the media that you consume. There not being enough instances in national pride for us to hold on to and remember growing up, because the old adage, like when we was children, it's still around. Local thing not good, is only foreign thing good, right? And it's still the dream to go in the States. And it's like, that's not a dream though. Like it is literally dangerous and potentially life-threatening to go in the States now, right? Because of the state of the world, especially now. But to say that, because you're basically saying that we don't have an identity because we fit in wherever vessel you put us in, we take any shape of that. And I don't agree at all.
I agree. I understand that where you don't agree. I didn't mean it in an insulting way.
No. So I didn't take it as insult at all, right? No. But also, that's not how I see it, and that's not how I function. And like in terms of like the work that I do now with the illustrations and the merch and that kind of thing and the game and all of that is especially to bring that sense of Trinbagonian pride and pride in the culture and in the history and that kind of thing, to remember where you come from and remember that even though as a nation we are super young compared to others, right? We still have enough of a history and a legacy in terms of the stories that we have to tell and the fact that we are multicultural and a melting pot. So the Pela or the Kalaloo or the whatever, right? Mm-hmm. The beautiful things that have come out of that and will continue to come out of that, that is wholly and solely what makes us who we are. And regardless of where you end up in life, geographically or wherever else, you gotta remember that. So for me, even the people that might be having identity issues in the diaspora, right? So maybe, you know, younger people that have Trini parents, but they're growing up outside. And well, is when you're young is when it is most important to you to be like everybody else so that you can fit in and not stand out, because then you just be rejected. And it's only when you get older you realize, well, fuck them people, if they don't like me, that's their business. But as a younger person, that's your world, and you're in your young underdeveloped brain, if you're not accepted, well, why am I even here? And plenty younger people and even older people suffer with that, with identity and not knowing where they belong or where they come from and that kind of thing. So if you have a better idea of yourself, a better idea of where you come from and where your people came from, and you get to understand that helps you be a little more grounded in who you are, and then you're not as afraid to step out as your own person, because you have the foundation that you spoke about earlier, right? So I think that is important to us continuing a certain legacy, right? And over time, stories will change, right? Because again, with us, we assimilate, and change comes out of that assimilation. But when we add something to the pot, the flavor will change a little bit, but it's still we, right? So even Yusuf and them, the gyros and thing, a Trini gyro is not going to taste the same as one you get outside, right? Because of how it's prepared, the ingredients, whatever it is. That's why they just say KFC in the States is shit, but KFC in Trinidad just tastes good. It's the same KFC, right? It's the same same process and all of that, but something just make it different. It's just like with the pan. Professionals in the States just bring the pan down here to tune, because it is sound different when it's tuned in Trinidad as opposed to if somebody tuned it outside of Trinidad. So all of these things to me is what makes us Trini. And it's hard to distill that into a one sentence description.
But there's what I mean. So all that you described there is the Trini experience, is the vibes or the identifying factors, as you say,
right?
That makes you know, all right, distinct from Jamaica, distinct from Grenada, just distinct from the States. That is what a Trini is, right? And there's no problem with that. What I'm saying is, because for you to get that idea across, not only to the audience, but even to me, even in this discussion, it's so many different words you have to use to describe the identity of a Trini. And it differs. It may sound similar, but it would differ from person to person.
Yeah.
And that is what I'm talking about, because we kind of reverse engineering, because the baton wasn't properly structured and passed on, that we reverse engineering the pieces that we value now, because the people who were supposed to instill something more structured and more value didn't pass on
No.
The
No.
yes.
Again.
Yes,
Disagree.
wait, Lamalan, a lot of people, in my opinion, didn't pass on the baton properly because how people learn is how they teach, as opposed to what we had agreed on earlier. A lot of people don't understand how to be a teacher, right? So if I learn hands-on, I teach hands-on. And I am actually discovering that with my daughter, the way how I learn arts and the way how I could find a proper sentence to describe and tell her, hey, this is what you had to do, and she would not get it, and she's far more talented potentially than me.
Okay.
And it's just to recognize that, hey, I am not the teacher because I can't teach what I learn. I could only draw from it because it's my experience. But you in a position where you have been a teacher, you are able to meet and see, hey, all right, cool, and guide and lead, and we haven't that generational passing on those passages is or the ocean that's supposed to flow is more like rivers and ravines now that we, in my opinion, kind of scrambling to get it together. We have pillars, we have distinct, not just the experience, but distinct milestones and distinct structures that describe our identity. But to me, because it hasn't been passed on efficiently, we are always under threat, and it's all the tree aspect identity is always either being watered down or becoming rare because there isn't any value in the hearts of the people to pass it on to, and it's few and far between. I had I'll end with this. I had a discussion with a couple of friends of mine. One was a stranger and the other one was a friend, and I was describing to them. Both of them was talking about, boy, Trinidad is the worst, and I ready to fly out, ting, and I was like, well, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I say, it's hard down here, but what you gonna do? I say, Trinity's that place, I say, yeah, I love it, and ting, but now, man, the next girl say, I fly out in the next 2 months, I can't do this, and this, that, and the other. And yeah, and I like, well, there's the difference between a patriot and a citizen. And I say, what is the difference? And I say, long suffering. If you're not willing to suffer for what you believe in, you would definitely become whatever else you believe in. And a lot of people don't believe in Trinidad. A lot of people who supposed to be holding up the pillars, who supposed to be building on the foundation, is only the people who are patriots holding up. And that is why I say the identity of a Trinidadian changes generation to generation, as opposed to when you look at and there's the other aspect that I wanted to touch on, which you said earlier that are grafting off of. You say we're young. We are young.
Yeah.
And what other countries have, or all the other people who immigrated to our country have over us, and it isn't tandem with the long suffering, is that we have never experienced shocking loss now. When you look at China, you look at Japan, you look at Russia, you look at Syria, Libya, all these places, suffer death, destruction, all kind of different things to make them stop and say, hey, I love my country, or now they're not going to take this from me, and fight, because we have something to lose. That is how these countries solidifying their identity. That is why you can tell the difference from Chinese, from Korea to Japanese, because they hold on to the history and they dig deep and they fought for it. The people who fought for the history that we have, the people who know here, or the people who don't value what was fought for, are doing the living. So that fast-paced training experience that I was talking about, it's not giving them a chance. And they're overstimulated with the competitive information that coming in from abroad. Globalization. We haven't gotten a chance to figure out who we really are. We just passing on, yeah, this is what I know, this is what my mother used to do, this is what my father used to do, this is my great and it's nothing that people willing to die for. That is what I mean to say. It's not to say that to take away from the training experience or what I am intrinsically fighting for as well, because I'm fighting, analyzing, and I'm making sure I could, whatever I'm putting out there, I could die for, and I'm making sure and trying my best to live in the experience and not take away from anybody else's. But at the same time, things dying and something needs to be done. Most times loss does have to happen for people to value what I have, but people not seeing that we losing. But yeah, that's me. Sorry about that. But that's why that's all I mean to say is not to take away from who actually fought for the identity of Trinidad and Tobago. It's just what is now. The people who actually still in it, the tuners, the mask makers, the calypsonians, the people who still doing it, the people who want to do it now is just the only seeing profit. The only saying, all right, well, if the white man doing it, I want something for we to do as black people too. But there's no substance with regards to passing on to the generation after. All the passing on is the greed or the opportunistic aspect, as you just described with the tribes being assimilated and the masses, the B-mobiles. If it, right? Yeah. I haven't been back in this place in a while, but it is vexed right now.
I hear the passion.
That's basically it.
Yeah, and I understand. There's still a lot that you said that I do agree with, or at least I see differently from you. But we're not
cool,
in the that's perfectly fine. We're not in the same place.
What you go learn? We had to be able to have healthy discussions and be soft enough to change point of views. And I know I living in my head for years now, and I need conversations like this.
Yeah, but it's not only changing minds or anything like that. You have your lived experience. I have mine, right? And again, is the beauty of things. We could look at the same piece of art or read the same paragraph and come away with different ideas based again on our lived experiences and where we are in life, right? And both are valid. And having healthy discussions as adults, and peers and contemporaries and that kind of thing is reaching to an understanding where even if I don't agree is fine. That's just how it is. So we explain our point of views, and if we still can't agree, well, all right, that's cool. It's not the end of the world, and I don't hate you.
Yeah.
But also depending on what it is you're disagreeing on. So if it's a subject like pedophiles not that bad, then one, very much disagree. Two, that's probably it for me and that person as far as interactions and conversations go. So obviously for everybody there will be lines that will not be crossed ever. But outside of that, there's always room for discussion, room to grow and understand. And again, we are two different stages in life. And just like when we were small, can wait to get big, and when your parents want you to go and take a little snooze in the middle of the day, and you're like, I just want to play a whole day. And then you turn into an adult, and the only thing you want to do is to go and sleep in the middle of the day, and you can't because there are responsibilities. Like, I had it real good when I was a child, So I can't wait to read and experience your point of view socially through the stories or the story that you're going and tell, and the characters that you're going to be channeling these stories through in this project. And I'm promising you now, because I remember we had the original discussions up to that point in the gas station car park up in Takarigo. How many ever years ago? More than 5 years at this point, because it was pre-pandemic.
Yes.
So I promise you now, I will be on your ass to get this thing off the ground, for us to have more conversations so you could get all of your ideas out. So I'm promising you, I will be a sounding board.
No problem.
Whether you want me to or not, like I say, I'm gonna be on your ass, because I want this. We need to have more of these kinds of projects.
Going to rope you and James and different people, even George.
Yeah.
Because I know it has so much different people and it has so much different audiences. I know it's not going to be a favorite for everybody, but at the same time, I would love to hear people's opinions and feedbacks and to have discussions to just, because that's another thing that I wanted to do. That is a big part of the project too. I am actually going to start doing random interviews with whoever I could get and just tailor questions in order to extract as much lived experiences and to tap into the things that I would not be able to experience.
Yeah.
That is limited by the things that people limit themselves with, whether it's racism, whether it's classism, whatever it is. I just want to tap into people who I used to work with, who used to be Muslim, who used to be Hindu and is Muslim now.
Right.
They have a whole wealth of waking up in the morning, tying the cow and the goat, making roti and thing in fig leaf. And I just want to be able to absorb that and be able to translate that, because again, I don't have all those resources. What I want to draw from cannot only be found in books.
Especially if you want to be authentic with it, you could only get that by going to the source, because reading it in a book would be second hand or third hand dependent. You reading about somebody else's experience or somebody else's interpretation of somebody else's experience. So it is get watered down, things that get lost in translation, and for it to feel authentic, you had to go to the source. So fully understand that.
And people, and you will be surprised how much, well, you will be surprised, not you, how much people want to tell their stories. They get comfortable enough, and I hear some kind of stories. Some stories I don't even entertain in my life, because I can't be calling these people liars.
Right.
My mother told me a ghost story before, and I know damn well that's not going to happen to me, because I live in a different realm.
Yeah.
But my mother told me, right here in this house, and the way she tell the story, how dare I would call my mother a liar. I can't call my mother a liar. And she telling me whatever she telling me, she believing. And still, just hearing the conviction in the story and not judging that person, even though I don't share that belief, not judging that person, and being able to extract from different storytelling is a part of our culture, but it's somebody that can tell stories like a tree. And the next fella tell me about the last story I go share with you, a fella from Canada, he tell me he had a neighbor, they're trying to build a house long time, but the house had different owners and it never fully finished construct because the house haunted and family always fighting over it and the deed and this, that, and the other. So he telling me that this vagrant around the yard, to just pick up bottle and thing. He don't trouble nobody. He watching all the feuding and thing and the families and them going away, so nobody watching the house. He decided to go and stay inside the house. And that's normal. So then he come home drunk, cussing, say, no, not tonight, I ain't going inside the house. And he say, not the fucking night, I ain't afraid of you. And then he say the doors and the windows lock up, clap, 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 clap. He say something, pick him up and fling him on the wall. And he knock out and wake up the next morning and his whole body hurted him. My co-worker who telling me the story, he say he only hear that story from the man because he see him talking to himself, packing the bag, moving from the house. So I don't deal with that kind of thing.
Right.
And I'm not taken away from whatever realm other people is being, because I'm not saying those things not real, but it's always entertaining to be a part of all that is the Trini culture, the Trini experience, bro.
Yeah.
I just love it. I love that. I need that.
Right.
A song like Diddy, a song like Diddy.
Lord Father.
But yeah, bro, there's ways are definitely going to rope in you and a couple others to be a part of that screening. I really want to keep all involved as well because you all definitely are pillars to me as well. You could see it in your all art when all you do all the things, or you're speaking with a voice that is from the soil. And I wouldn't mind having anyone only just saying, hey, that you're shit you do there. We'll come again, as opposed to, yeah, sell off.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop me. When they tell me that no, I run in full speed. You understand? And you just need people, as I say, I know I in my head a lot longer than most people.
Yeah.
And you just need that external voice, that external point of view.
Definitely.
You can't see everything from the battlefield. You just have to rock back and take a little drone shot.
Exactly. I appreciate you letting me into the world and trusting me so far in valuing my opinion, whatever that may be, because I don't take them things lightly, and I try to be for people what I would have liked to have coming up. And also because I did get support and encouragement and that kind of thing from some people, right? So it's like pass it on one, but hopefully create or emulate a safe enough space that you could check me, hey, I had this idea, but I ain't too sure about it, what you think? And regardless of if I say, well, yeah, I really like this, or nah, this needs some more time in the oven, or whatever it is, for people to know and understand as is coming from a place of wanting you to succeed. Yeah. Because if I raise you, you raise somebody else, all of we go raise. You know what I mean? Because I find it have too many gatekeepers. It had too many people that not willing to share whatever quote-unquote secrets they may have. The only way we'll get better as a community is to share the wealth and share the knowledge, right? So people, and I start doing the merchant thing, people are like, well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but where you get your stuff done? I was like, this is the website. Go and check it out. They're fucking awesome. I'm not going to hold that back from somebody because I am confident in what I am capable of. And
exactly,
there will always be like what going on with most of the people that are inviting on, if not all. I would see all the others like, these fucking people, why all you're so good, boy? Right? And it's not from a place of hate or jealousy. That's admiration, right? That's just how I just be. Why you so fucking good? Because I can't do that shit, and I respect that. I love that. I want to see more. So I want to see what if you started to create merch, I want to see what that look like, because I want to buy some. I want to have paraphernalia and art from all of the people, especially the local people that I know and admire. I want it hanging up in my house. I don't want some random thing that me and know who the person is when I could be spending my money on the people that I actually know and like. You know what I mean? So all of that to say, I appreciate you having me in your circle that you would be checking for this project that is definitely wide in scope and obviously close to your heart, because in total it's nearly 20 fucking years this thing bubbling in some form or fashion, and I can't wait for it. So with that, we could bring this session to a triumphant close, but with the caption, to be continued.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me. Definitely appreciate the platform that you have and that you start that will grow and just continue doing what you're doing, bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're setting a trend, you're cutting track for Goatee, Guana, everything to run.
Cut and go through. That's the thing. I go sharp my blade and I go do what I need to do. So everybody else could run. I mind that. I like that. I love that. So yeah.
By the way.
Well, alright.
Yeah. That's nice.
Time to close up the gallery.
Yeah, man. Thanks again for the opportunity. Take care. Yeah.